Hi there, beautiful people. Welcome back to Seren Spiritual. I'm going to do like a mixed reading today for us to see what's going on, okay? Energies the last few days have been quite up and down. Mercury is in retrograde as a planet of confusion. So, I mean, if you're feeling a bit sort of, I don't know, undecided about something, now is not the time to sort of make your final decision. I'm spilling these everywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a few tarot, and then I've pre-selected some oracle cards because, as we know, when I shuffle they go everywhere. I need a shuffler, I think. I need like a man to stand beside me. Okay, so I'm gonna draw some tarot and then see where we go in. Okay. Okay, I mean, I'm going to start with sort of, I don't know, start with the Five of Cups and see where we go in, okay? Five of Cups is talking about sort of grieving. Maybe we are, you know, at this time, we're grieving maybe the loss of someone, maybe a loss of a relationship, maybe the loss of a job, maybe the loss of an actual person leaving this earth plane, okay? But, you know, grief comes in so many different forms, and you will feel, I don't know, it's like, I lost my mum when I was 21, well, 3 weeks before I was 21 actually, and it was such a hard time. But then, you know what I did when I was going through this, I just like partied, you know, had sex with people that I probably would never had sex with, drinking alcohol all the time, smoking, drugs, the whole lot, because I was suppressing these emotions. I was pushing them down because I couldn't deal with them at the time. I mean, like I said, I was 21, well, 3 weeks before I was 21, and yeah, we do push them down. And as a Cancerian, I don't like other people seeing me upset. So during that time, like seeing, you know, family members crying and stuff, you know, I was probably the comforter, you know, in that situation. But then I was just pushing my grief away. And if you feel like you are doing this, then there are things that you can do, to help it, especially if you've like lost somebody sort of, I can't click my fingers, in the blink of an eye. I feel, that is just like you shock everything. And then of course you're missing this person. Another thing that I did as well, to sort of try and combat my grief as I'm sort of getting older, is like connecting to my mother spiritually. And actually my mother's one of my spirit guides now, who works with me. I've got two spirit guides, Paul and Suze. So, yeah, but certainly working through this. And it wasn't until, like last year when I was dealing with my lower suppressed emotions and bringing them to the surface, it wasn't until then that I thought I hadn't dealt with this loss. It's such a significant loss, when you lose a parent, mother or father. It's such a big thing. And we can sort of hide our emotions with, like I said, drugs, alcohol, sex, going into a relationship just because you're feeling, a bit lonely or something. We do these things, but you can, like I did last year, I brought all these to the surface. And I basically just said, I was speaking to somebody about this last night, actually, a follow-up call, follow-up tarot sort of consultation. And she was, this lady, she was in a sort of different situation, but still, she's grieving, okay? And I said to her, I don't feel like there's nothing else that you can do at the moment. You're doing everything that you can, but I would suggest, I haven't got this book downstairs, but Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender by David R. Hawkins is a must read. I said to her, follow these little tips in this book. And it's basically making a sort of, making a commitment to yourself to bring all these things to the surface. Like, there's obviously, like, when my mum died, there's obviously things that I really wanted to say to her that, but, I couldn't. The time ran out. But why not write a letter and, release it to the universe? that person will hear you, whatever you have to say. But I just feel, yeah, bringing your suppressed emotions to the surface. Just make that commitment to yourself. Say to yourself, right, I want to make this commitment to myself. I want to bring these unresolved emotions to the surface. And I've got to be honest, my pain condition is, touch wood, is really good at the moment. And I do believe it is because I'm working on the shadow side of myself. It's not any, like I said to this lady last night, it's not an easy process to go through. I found that when I started this, bringing my suppressed emotions to the surface, it was so strange because I had like a salt bath and I'd done my prayers, I'd done a little meditation in the bath, and then I said to my higher self, bring all these to the surface. And I wasn't expecting it to be so quick. I came downstairs and I sat on the settee. I'd done a few bits, put the TV on. And the first thing that came on was a baby advert. And in that baby advert, as soon as I saw that baby advert, I just thought of like things that had happened in my past. Like I had 3 miscarriages previously. And before, I couldn't even think of that without sort of tearing up. But I went through the motions of it all. I went through the anger, the partner I was with at the time, the disappointment that, it wasn't sort of how it should have been, and, obviously not being a mother, all of these things, cried my eyes out. And I let it go. And that's how simple as it is. I didn't judge myself for what's happened, because what happened for me. It's led me on to this stage of my life. Everything happens for a reason, and when we sort of understand that, and especially everything happens for a reason because we meet people at certain times as well to help with our lives and stuff. And I feel like if you are going through a grieving process, maybe you're going through a grieving process at the moment because you're not sort of living your everyday life, because we're not. This is not normal circumstances at all. So maybe we're grieving this, maybe we're grieving the fact that we can't go to the pub, or that, our job has changed, or, that maybe we've lost our job. And, you can tie this to anything. And, as always, if this reading doesn't resonate, then there's plenty of other YouTube readers that will sort of give you a bash, like. Also as well, I've drawn a few cards. We've got a lot of 2 energies here today. And 2 is sort of thinking and sort of trying to sort of move forward, okay? And it's like a partnership thing. So I feel as well, with this 2 of Swords, we are sort of deciding what we want to do, where we want to go, who we want in our lives. And Mercury, like I said, Mercury is the planet of confusion, and it will throw loads of little curveballs your way. People, people are coming from their point of reality as well, and we've got to sort of appreciate that, because some things can be misconstrued, well, a lot of the time, and it's, depending on how the other person is feeling, etc. But I feel like decisions at this time should be really, really well thought out, okay? I don't feel like, I feel like you know where you want to go, but there's just decisions that you need to be making, in that space, And I feel I'm going to jump in actually with this, because the Oracle card, the power of prayer, this is where the power of prayer comes in, okay? If you are undecided about where you want to go, ask your higher self, and your higher self will show you. Just bringing your suppressed emotions to the surface. I've got to say, since I've had this piano, I've had loads of weird goings on in my house. Even more so since I've painted it. It keeps, I was in bed last night and I could hear a little tune. I was like, I didn't want to get out of bed. But anyway, that's a different story. Power of prayer. Give this situation to God for uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives you in response to your prayers. So like I said, pray for the best outcome. If you're trying to make a decision, maybe it's a job decision, relationship decision, or anything, or maybe there's due to this grief, there might be sort of family arguments. I don't know. This is what I'm hearing from Spirit as well, okay? We've got 2 of Pentacles. We're just saying about sort of this is normally like a money card saying about making ends meet, but I feel like because it's tied with this Two of Swords, I feel like it's tied with our mental health and, you know, making sort of ends meet. You know, I don't know, or making yourself feel better, I feel this is. I mean, she's touching her head, so it's like, what's going on? But she's just like, yeah, you know, I've got this, but I am under a bit of stress. And I feel like that is for a lot of us at the moment. You know, maybe this is money worries for you. But, and like I said, power of prayer. Ask your angels, ask God. I mean, when I drew the oracle cards, 2 came out, and God is your source and power of prayer. So if that's not a message for somebody today, I don't know what is. God is your source. Everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorways to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation, rather there is plenty of abundance for all to share. You know, and it's like, even if you don't believe in sort of God per se, I mean, there's other deities that you can pray to. But I pray to like Mother, Father, God, the universe, okay, and my angels, of course. And God is included in that, you know, obviously, somewhere along the line. It's what you sort of believe yourself, isn't it? Okay, so we've got the Hangman then. And it's telling us about trusting the sort of the next step. You know, waiting for things to happen when we can actually sort of just move it along ourselves. And I feel like this spread today is really sort of, you know, reiterating the power of prayer, the power of meditation, the power of sort of letting go and sort of letting the universe come to you, you know? And I feel that is like, yeah, this is it. This is it. This is it. You know, we're sacrificing. What are we sacrificing? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for when we can pray to our, you know, our deity, our gods, our universe? You know, what are we waiting for? Okay, we've got another 2 as well. The High Priestess, which is saying about wisdom. Now, I think I drew it actually reversed, which means like at the moment, we are not sort of using our wisdom to our advantage. And like I keep saying about the power of prayer, the power of meditation, this is how we are connected, and we are connecting to the universe. And I feel as well, like I do it through music, through writing, and do, you know, videos and stuff. This is a way of me connecting to sort of my power, my center. And, you know, if you are a spiritual person, an empath and stuff, and if you are having a hard time at the moment, then all you have to do is connect. I keep saying, connect to your center, connect to your power, and say to yourself, show me back to the light. Your light hasn't gone out, it's just dimmed down a little bit. And I think this is what we forget. We come off the path, and then, I don't know, for me, when I come off my path or something's deterring me, I go down a really, really sort of bad, well, not bad road, but I don't look after myself so much, and I'm just not praying, I'm not meditating, and I'm not doing my rituals like I should. But I know when I am connected to my wisdom, my power, everything is there for me. And I've proven it in sort of, I don't know, previous, you know, things. I manifested this life, you know, this desk I manifested. I wanted a big wooden desk, and I was just looking for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then one day I woke up and I prayed to the universe. I said, today I'm going to find a desk. And it was like an hour later, I found the desk, and then I picked it up that afternoon. And it was a bit of a hard job getting it through the door and stuff, but we did it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's how quick the universe can work sometimes. And it's all down to sort of our faith and sort of letting go of the stuff that is holding us back. Which is tying in with this. Let go of your past. This is the angel card for today. The burden of carting your past around has made you weary, dear one. It's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love, and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and it's now gone. You know, like I said, I was holding on to these suppressed emotions to do with my mother's death. You know, probably my grandparents' death. You know, relationships I haven't worked out. It was all sitting there, inside. And like I said before, you know, I've got a pain condition, but working on myself, working on my shadow self is really sort of helping to push this out. This is what I want. I don't want to be like in the house ill all the time. And certainly the last few weeks I haven't been, because I have been sort of focusing on getting sort of better and getting back to my best, you know, or better again. Just waffling now. Yeah, so letting your past go, it really will help you. I mean, you know, I'm like 42. You know, you don't get to 42 without any baggage or losing someone or having maybe a toxic relationship, toxic friendship, toxic job. You don't get to that age without sort of all that bullshit. But you can sort of get rid of it by sort of, like I said, working on your shadow self. You know, bringing them suppressed emotions to the surface. You don't need them. You let them go. Let your past go. Excuse me. Okay, energy for today's Angel of Balance. You know, you know, we have to have that balance in our life. And like I said, unless I've got this balance, I go a bit off the rails. I'm not doing my rituals. I'm not praying. I'm not meditating. I'm not doing this. I'm just focusing on the negatives rather than the positives. So there's got to be balance in your life. And if you feel like somebody is taking too much away from you, then, you know, you need to sort of, you know, this is where this decisions card is coming in. You need to make that decision, maybe to let that person go, and let that person learn from their sort of mistakes, because this is what it is. You know, life is a game, isn't it? It's like we learn from things, or sometimes we don't, and I don't know, it's just a very up and down process, especially awakening. When you realise that you're sort of going through a spiritual awakening, then certainly it's it's like this, up and down. Water, this is the element card, water. It's time to let go of the old and worn out so the new can come in. And like I said, this is all tying in beautifully today, but let your past go. You know, it's like, I always use the car analogy. It's like sort of having a car and having 60 people in the back of your car. I mean, you're not going to go anywhere because there's going to be too much weight in the car. And it's kind of like us, you know, sort of moving forward. You know, you don't want to be taking the bullshit from your last relationship into the next one, because you will find that you will just get mirrors. You will just get a mirror relationship. Okay, it might not be as bad as the last relationship, but it's not going to be as good as if you work on yourself and sort of move forward like that. Okay. Goddess Wisdom card is Isis, past life. The situation involves your past life memories. Okay, so sometimes, you know what I'm saying, let your past go, it's actually not this life, it's actually past lives before. But then in this life, we have the same lessons as before. And I believe strongly that we are on this earth to sort of learn the lessons, to get sort of, I don't know, to get to our next best life, which is going to be better than this. And this is why I believe that, no, I'm not going to say, actually, I'm not going to do it. Okay, meditation card for today is, like a petal, I'm connected to something bigger. And like I said, when I'm really off course, I really feel it. I feel lonely. I feel like nothing matters. And it does matter, you know, it does. But like the other day when I was feeling like that, I just went out and I was like talking to like the birds. I was filming a robin. And I kind of see that on my everyday walk now, that little robin, and I have a little sort of toot back and forth. It's really beautiful. But I think it's sort of getting to the thing that, you know, yeah, we all got issues, we've all got problems, but, you know, I don't feel like there's nothing in this world that we can't overcome. And certainly, like, if you are struggling, like, you know, these, you know, bottom cards are saying, especially with grief decisions or anything, certainly go into your angels and asking them, you know, I need your help, please. You know, beg, cry, you know, it all helps. Okay, and the universal guidance card for today is I am the loving energy of the universe. So make sure that, you know, I don't know, it's like when we are sort of connected to our power, we are putting up the good vibes. As light workers, we need to be sort of shining our light. You know, these times at the moment, very like unprecedented, as you know, the things I'm saying. But I feel like after March we are going to be sort of on a much better sort of wavelength to do with everything. But anyway, yeah, I am the loving energy of the universe. You know, you are. It's like, you know, it's like the meditation card, like a petal. I'm connected to something bigger. You know, we are, when it's like I said, you know, I feel like when I'm disconnected from my power, when I'm not doing my rituals, I feel like I'm bitchy, I'm eating the wrong things, I'm drinking the wrong things, it's not cool. But when I'm connected, I want to be doing things like this, and I want to be sort of moving forward and pushing forward to, you know, the next step. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for today. I do offer paid readings. They're £25 or equivalent where you are in the world. So please hit me up. I put all the details down below. And I don't know what else to say, but peace out.